In these dark days, while the supermoon is eclipsed by the sun, Mercury is in retrograde, Mars and Jupiter and Mercury are squared, it is time of Beltane and the coronation of a new king. Hi, today's video is titled Talking Smack, where we will be discussing AI and recent news on this Beltane holiday. Some people talk about the past and some people talk about the future. Please excuse the delay in getting these new videos created, uploaded to this channel for Who Hub Humanitarian Software 208 on YouTube. I've been busy helping the shift. In timeline, some things remain consistent, like the goofiness of the AI media, while other things have changed, such as the narrative. I've noticed from my recent internet travels over the last few weeks and months and years, the machine assumes way too much about me. Way too much. Way too much. Yet I am heavily laden with free energy tech, software concepts, intel, storylines, timeline changes, and the whys and hows and much more. It seems as though AI has been used against us, as if we're some lab experiment for someone or some group. While watching the AI be able to alter messages on the fly, I have seen and even experienced a reality where, if given the chance, the rules will change where religious texts like the Bible will be said to be considered hate speech as banned reading materials or online content. I haven't met any psychic AI, yet my thoughts are immediately projected into the environment. Just like I have mentioned in previous videos, real people are responsible for the type of highly advanced technologies that we at Cavetronics R&D Energy are familiar with. It's the same with how real people engineered the military infrastructure, weapons, ships, tanks, jets, and so on. In the same way, real people are testing the AI, as some people are trying to play games with real people's lives through it, and are getting people killed by proxy. From my perspective, it looks much like humanity has lost their heads. That's probably how we ended up with 2 fake kings and a bot for a princess. Oddly, it seems as though there may have been a world at some point in the quantum AI of things where Elon was a god, and on TV he recently mentioned the phrase "make change happen." In a world where I am a weapon of words and being, I'm ringing this bell on this day of May 5th, 2023. Perhaps the heavens may pay attention. Have you noticed how all the news media talking heads sound the same nowadays? They talk fast and they don't have a discernible accent. Perhaps it is European, as someone mentioned elsewhere I heard the other day. In my plight, where I found myself in a dangerous world, I was simply trying to do business in America. Yet the construct is rather one-sided on the way it deals with energy. There is no give and take. There is only give and get raped. So I really want to nail this concept down. Some people do arts and crafts, while others, like engineers, scientists, inventors, technologists, and even journalists among the free energy open source community, have real skills. And some people are creative, talented, smart enough to do both. This is where we find ourselves at Cavetronics Dimensional Art and Cavetronics R&D Energy. I'm rolling with the times, but I like to always do a reality check which my husband taught me in his saying, "The truth of the matters is in the matters of truth." This basically translates into real things matter, which is a concept that some people ought to really learn to get a handle on soon enough. I'm going to see if I can do this in an English accent. In addition to Biden's bags finding their way to Northern Ireland, I found it interesting that they resurrected the Queen again for one or the 2 or 3 Easter celebrations this year. She died earlier last year, officially on my birthday, September the 8th, so I find it easy to remember her official death record, which is 3 days from my husband's birthday, the infamous 9/11. We Virgos from the womb of Pleiades constellation know such things and take such things to heart. Many of us are scientists, if you didn't already know. In another bit of interesting news, a lot of AI bigwigs are recently upset. After all these years of manipulating AI, which manipulates human lives, the godfather of AI quits Google and warns of its dangers. I wonder if that is because their AI was beaten, or if the godfather was finally bored with his invention. Either way, if you follow the money, $608 trillion was lost, 600 of which were derivatives. The problem I see with the shifty AI out-of-the-box phenomenon, as I have mentioned in theory in the first of 2 essays I wrote for Business Networking Communications class last December 2022, I see how the AI can shift the narrative according to whatever new info comes to them. Each time the AI diverts the real conversation into an abstracted format with clever details like signatures that seem like feedback in real time. The problem with that type of shifty narrative is that it can never be stopped, which makes it easier to drive it into insanity into itself, much like the recent Bud Light faux pas, leaving some people starkly out of touch with reality, such as the way such abstraction methods work, as I have discussed in earlier videos in the Agnosis series. Yet from the strange response that I get, I know I must be strumming this song from a long, long ways away, because I see the instant ripple effect of what seems like abstracted details of my life on Fox News. And yet, I only have 34 subscribers to this channel. Although Tucker admitted that he had partaken in the fun of the moment, it is sad to see him go. I really like Tucker and always have. He's Episcopalian. My husband's Presbyterian, and my family brought the Lutheran Church to America. In a recent interview with Bill Maher, Elon Musk spoke about a woke mind virus. And this is very obvious with gender ideology and things of that nature, which I wrote about at length many years ago. And then all of the usual government.edu types bogged down my website constantly in those days, about 20 years ago. I wrote extensively about the spiritual meaning of a woman, which, as the Bible describes, comes from a man. It is a difficult concept, especially for an AI, a digital thing, unable to jump out of the box on so many levels. But Jesus said it is not what goes into a man that makes him unclean, but rather the spirit that comes forth from the man. So therein is the mystical need for baptism, that the spirit may be baptized with the body, housed in a body, so that it may come forth anew and go into new wineskins, like Jesus talked about also. That is why we, in Christianity, are baptized in the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Because, as Jesus taught, what profit a man if he win the whole world, but lose his soul? In the same way, what profit a man that loses his head? And here we touch on the mystery of the real meaning of idolatry and why it is detestable to God and reasonable human beings. As such, we are fortunate to have real souls and not digital ones that cannot make it to Mars to save their life. I much prefer the comforts of home on Earth with lush green pastures, waterfalls, and oceans, all of which need a good cleaning whenever this horrible movie finally collides with reality. When reality hits, there are technologies, as I have described in other previous videos and elsewhere, such as on WhoHub.tech and the EV Gray Group, which can be implemented in the testing phase and expanded worldwide within 10 to 12 years, which will require another 10 to 12 years to perfect, for a total of 24 years, which allows humanity and Earth to just slide in under the deadline of 28 years we have to get this top side of Earth in order for us to continue life on top of it. Some of the technologies that are ready to go into manufacturing include the MRA, Magnetic Resonance Amplifier, and the TPU, Toroidal Power Unit, of which can be made compact and cheap. For the size of a 5-gallon bucket and around $50, TPUs could power homes in the near future. Other technologies such as geoheating and geocooling for commercial and residential buildings of around 200,000 BTU solar furnaces for 10,000 square foot buildings and solar heater window units on the small scale will heat 10 to 12 foot rooms will be used in the future. Some people talk the talk. Some people walk the walk. The one who walks the walk also knows the stories that come with it. It is good to remember both the big and small scale of things when planning for the future. I hope you enjoyed this video update. Thank you for watching.